take the Allen wrench and you're going to take out the corner post screws out of the top. This is the top side of the block. So we take the corner post screws out of that and get these out. Okay.
I'd like to put it in order.
Okay, so you're going to take the 4 screws out of the hanger bearings and make a separate pile because the 2 screws are different lengths. The corner screws are longer than the hanger bearing screws. Thank you. And so we'll pop these out. And the way this thing is designed, it really is kind of stupid proof. It can only be put back together one way, truly. If you put something together wrong, the next step will not work and you'll have to back up and figure it out. But because if you don't put the screws in the right place, nothing matches and it won't bolt together and stuff like that. So here's your hanger bearings, there's your drive wheel, there's your upper gear. So we pop off the hanger bearings, and now we've got just the wheel here, so you can just take your thumb and roll that off. And you can see how the drum has a groove in it. Okay, and if you noticed on the drive wheels there's a high ridge in the center. You just make those up. Okay, so for you would go to your toolbox or your materials and you would go look for your red drive wheels because you're doing a 12 strand 2mm bundle. Today this is a 3mm test fiber we're playing with, so I'm not going to put the 2mm wheels on, but this is where you would. Okay.
Does it always come with from the factory with the 3 on it?
Already set up. It's all set for 3 to go. Okay. Put your hanger bearings back on. If you put your hanger bearings on incorrectly, like if just remember shiny side in, which is the raised side, if you put it on backwards, it doesn't really spin that well. Plus it won't mate up to the bolt holes on the plate. So this has to be spun around and it's nice and free. And then we get the holes all going the same direction, and then we put the drive wheel lines up with the groove because that's where the fiber is running through. So then that's it. You change out your drive wheel, put on your red ones, put your hanger bearing screws back in, and like I said, these are slightly shorter than the corner screws, so I just keep them in 2 different piles, 2 different separated. Main thing is the head, so it only goes in one way, and that's it. The other key note is you got a divot right here and a divot cut into the block right here, which when the door closes, it mounts up to the other side because the screws, the corner screws on the bottom side of the block are not countersunk. Okay, so don't try tapping them in with a hammer or nothing silly like that. They just don't go all the way down. They're not supposed to go all the way down.
Keep it centered or locked in?
Well, it's kind of a dowel and rod keeper, yeah. Okay, so we pop these corner post screws out of the bottom side of the plate on the block, remove the plate, air seal. This again, you would go back and change, grab the 2mm air seal and get that replaced with your red wheels at the same time. Okay. Now the bottom motor, anyway, you just pop that loose, rotate, pull it out. Sometimes you blow, you get pef dust in there. The pef dust is nothing more than a little bit of, it looks like cotton candy, but it's basically just a little bit of debris and friction of the cable of pef itself. So that's just friction from the wheels propelling it down the tube. Okay, so you peel off the wheel. Your case, you're getting the 2mm, putting your red wheel on, but I'm staying with the 3. So you pop that on, rotate, make sure it's on square and flat. That's that. Put your plate back together, and you're good to go. So we'll put these corner screws back in, top and bottom. Okay. And we'll go to the Allen wrench, and then we do what we call the 2-finger torque. You just kind of get these things in there, and when you get them tight, you just give them 2 fingers, and that's it. Main thing is the hanger bearing. Yeah, that's going to happen right here off this connection. red tube, red port, down here on the motor, push-pull fittings, up here, push-pull fittings, save your caps and plugs for later. Okay, exhaust line, same little scenario. I'm gonna put this over here.
So you don't wanna put the drops in until you're just about ready to turn on the gas, right?
Well, you want to do it when you have the gas able to be turned on, because it's going to push, the gas is actually going to push the fluid in,
Yeah.
spin it through the motor, and spit it out the exhaust line.
But it's not good to put the drops in ahead of time while you're getting it set up and then turn it on?
I don't think it would matter. I mean, once it's in there, you can't hurt it by putting too much. You could put 3 or 4 drops in now and forget, and put 3 or 4 more drops in and run it all through. So
Okay.
it won't hurt nothing. Okay. Okay, so that's that part. Now let's go here. And really?
No.
Put
Joe, hammer.
Joe, hammer?
Yeah.
Hammer time. Okay, let's see.
I'll
what
fix
we
it. Where's that pretty painted hammer?
got. That's my pretty pink wrench, so you
No,
won't steal
not the
it.
pretty, not the pretty pink.
No?
No, that was Pete's.
Whoever's newest gets that one.
No, no one gets to use it.
This is a brand new tank?
Yep.
Huh.
Why?
There should be a plastic wrap on that, usually.
I picked it up from Praxair yesterday.
Normally once it's full, this will have a shrink, like a blue shrink around it. Okay, regulator, standard thread, goes right in here. And
Pipe wrench.
when you put this, yeah, no pipe wrench, no channel locks, no vice grips. Go to 10-inch crescent wrench, and it's always a good idea to leave your gauges tilted back a little ways. That way when you tighten them up, they stand up straight. Because if you start straight, tighten it up, now they face down, you can't read it. Okay? Okay, save that for later. Spin this a little bit, and now we need one of these. Okay, we've got one here. So we'll take this. This will be in your toolbox. That's your 8mm tube adapter. This is your optional on and off safety switch, which in reality is also half of your dual isolation tank valve kit. So you can plumb 2 tanks together. See, that's what this is already set for. Because when I go out and help people, they usually call me to help them go do long stuff, and I usually have 2 tanks plumbed up. Okay.
So the test kit is not part, or that piece is not part of the normal toolbox?
No.
Okay.
And rather than make this every time that you rented one of these, I mean, wouldn't you just make it and then keep the setup kind of tied up like you did? I wouldn't want to make it every time, would you?
Well, the reality part is all that stuff gets scrapped. Because different contractors, they kink it, they bend it, they got crap on it, whatever, different cuts, different lengths.
But I mean, if you bought your own setup, like you said, buy the tandem bottle kit and make your own setup, and
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
what I
mean,
mean.
yeah, you could do
Yeah,
that.
as long
That's
as
what I
you
would wanna-
didn't get it all cubed
Yeah.
up and
yeah, I
stuff.
wouldn't keep it all tied up nice like you did with that one, and then
Yeah.
every time you've got a full setup that's ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Oh, definitely.
absolutely,
Make it every
because
time,
that's your
Right,
product, that's
okay.
your material.
Gotcha.
When the factory does it, if you send any of this loose stuff back, just scraps, they're gonna throw it all away, and they're gonna put a brand new 8-footer in there for the next guy.
Gotcha.
Okay. Be like a 12-inch piece of clear in your toolbox. And this is where it's gonna end up going after you get everything put together, is right here in the front, okay? For you, all this bypass supply line here, these little jumpers in here, they're all gonna be black tube, because that's what the factory's gonna send you is black tube. I carry clear tube wherever I go for, assisting and whatnot. I just use clear tube for jumpers and everything. It's like using cross-connect wire in your truck. You just use it for everything. Okay. All right, make sure your valves are always in the off position if you're not playing with them.
Looks like
'Cause
some
we don't
kind
want
of mad
any-
scientist project.
Okay, so here's your single stage regulator,
Fucking drugs on
T handle. Okay, we talked about the gauges. You're reading the red side on the inside. This is going to tell you how much volume of gas you're spilling out, okay, on this side. So like if you're running 100 pounds, you're blowing 100 pounds, you twist this to the right, now you're blowing 120, 130, and so on, okay. Over here, this gauge tells you, like now, bam, 2600 PSI in this tank right now, brand new, so we're good. So we'll get the T-handle turned up just a little bit. We'll put about 40, 50 pounds on. And cleaning solution over here,
A little tube,
okay?
3 to 4 drops.
So before I put this in, this little napkin, and we're working on carpet, so I'm gonna come over here and put the muffler in the paper towel and then suspend it over the, you know, that way when the liquid, because what happens, you put the liquid in here, it
It's gotta
shoots
come
in,
out.
swirls through, and spits out, and we don't want any drops getting on the carpet. So computer room floors, stuff like that, you know what I mean? So, okay. And take off the cap. And we'll put in 1, 2, 3, 4, add a couple extras just so you can see activity maybe. It's kind of hard to see because this machine is pretty clean actually. It gets cleaned often. Because normally if an ABF guy comes out to your job site, one of the first things he's going to do is he's going to look right here. So if this thing is all gray and icky looking, that's good. That means you've been cleaning the machine. If it's bone dry, the machine is either absolutely clean or you haven't been doing your maintenance. Okay. All right, plug that back together. And now we can apply a little bit of gas. So you're going to hear a little bit of gas flow here in a second. So turn that on. Okay. Maybe that's a little too much. Like that. Motor. Now if you look here, you might be able to see the liquid spiral around.
Yep.
And there's a couple little bubbles that went by. So that's basically just letting you know you're cleaning the machine and everything's good. Okay? Motor off, save the gas, and that's maintenance. So that's how you, and you can do this when the fibers do your stuff and they don't know the routine. They do what they, you know, they're just trying to help, but they kind of mess me up, really. Which is all right, you know, it's no big deal. All right, so let's go. Take this and right here, and you go under the table. How's that? Okay. Matter of fact, hand me that. Okay. Here, hand me this one, can you? Go under. Here you go. Okay. Thank you. All right.
Where's my gardener gloves?
Get those gardener gloves. Get that glove boy out of here. All right. Good job, man. Thank you. Okay, so we got plenty of plenty. So you want to be my guy? All right, you're my guy.
Gauge off the table over there?
No, I've got all the stuff. Actually, the real stuff. Those are probably more like props and aids than they are real. Okay. So, in order to do some testing, we don't even need the blowing head on site, right? So what we do
We're
need
not hurting for snacks.
is, we need
We need a
the
gauge.
gauge, and we need a jumper, like that. This is the little setup I told you about. So hang on to that, don't install it yet, okay? And on my side, I need bypass switch. And this goes on the line side and the supply side.
Right.
And basically, boom, this is all we need to go do testing. This don't even need to be on site. I just showed you how to set up and do maintenance, and you need to have air and stuff, but this is what you need. This is,
So until we're blowing fiber, we don't need the
correct.
blowing head.
you don't need the blowing head. You need this, and you need one of these, which do come in there. But like I said, you know, we don't sell these, we sell this piece all together. Okay. So,
Guess what was missing from my building materials?
That.
well, there
What's
you
going
go.
on there?
It's going on there now, right. Okay, so
Hello,
I
Mr. Rudy? Yeah.
call my guy over here and I say, okay, stand by, we're gonna charge the line, so we're gonna get a little whisper of wind, okay? So that's purging continuity, okay? So we're on the same tube, That's a thumbs up. Now, go ahead and slap your gauge on. In class, we'll go ahead and turn it off, just to be kind of polite, but in the real world, like I said, it takes 30 seconds per thousand. So when the purge and the continuity's happening, this guy over here, he's got the gauge, he wants to wait. He's got purge, a little bit of air coming out, okay, and a little bit of wind, okay, purge, continuity, good, and then you can put on the coupler without turning the gas off, because you're a mile away. But if you're only 50 feet away, it's a little more difficult, because there's gas right now. All right, so now that we got gas on the line, now it's communication time. Let's talk it up. So it's up to you to tell me when you hit 150. So I'm going to crank it up. You call out some numbers.
80, 90, 100,
Okay,
120,
120,
140,
40,
a little more,
okay,
a little bit more,
a little bit.
a little bit.
What color? What color?
Oh,
He's
we're going
colorblind.
red, huh?
Well,
Red?
well, I thought you were talking, never mind. You know how they got BCHs and R's and blacks, and so that's why I was going color. All right. Where you at?
A little bit more.
A little bit. I'm gonna get a gauge that says a little bit.
A little bit.
Little bit.
One turn.
One turn, all right.
Right there.
Okay. The reason we want him to call out 150 is because this gauge and this gauge don't always read eye to eye, okay? This gauge reads up to 400 pounds, that gauge reads up to 200 pounds. So sometimes you can be a few pounds off. You know, I've seen it like 3 to 7 pound difference. So, like I said, if you don't have this valve, you gotta turn this valve off, okay? So, I swear to God, go get this kit. That way when you go, I'm gonna go isolate in 3, 2, 1. I'm off. This line is static. He's counting to 10 seconds over there and watching the gauge and making sure that we have no leaks. And you are 10.
Good.
Good.
150.
So no leaks. All right, bonus.
150 all the way down the page.
All right, well that means you don't have to troubleshoot any of these couplers. Okay. So now what we do is we purge out the line.
Oh, God, that scared the shit out of me.
Don't be scared. All right. Okay, so now go ahead and pop off. Okay. Okay. All right,
It's
so
a
hang
push
on,
and
stand
pull.
by. All right,
Yeah.
so now we're gonna pretend I'm going to tube number 2, just to say. So you're gonna stand by. This is purging continuity. All right, that's 150 pounds. Okay, hang on. All right. So that's what I mean in class when we're doing that, because I'm showing you the initial change up from pressure test to BB test.
Because you already have this set.
This is already preset,
Right.
so when you start going to do all your tube testing, you don't have to mess with this no more, and we just start going from tube to tube, charge the line, turn it off. So if I give you purge and continuity, stab on your gauge, go ahead and stab it on.
See if
Okay.
it's me.
All right, are you on? Okay, is your tube is in the little frosted line in the middle? Okay, so now your gauge automatically climbing to 150. All right, then we go back over here. I'm going to isolate in 3, 2, 1. 1 1000, 2 1000. That's what, and we just repeat the process over and over. And we're documenting SRP number 3, filling that out, and 10. Okay, that's a pass. Purge out the line.
It didn't scare me
Repeat,
that
repeat. Fill out the paperwork. Okay. All right. So now
It was coming.
we're going to go switch to the BB test. So you can pop that off,
Yes.
go to that.
I'm excited to see this OP little
Right.
BB catcher.
Make sure don't fuck with me.
There's holes in the bottom of that.
It's gotta let the air out. Yeah.
This bottle, you make a hole to let the air release, or
The air has to go out.
Yeah.
Yeah, see the holes drilled in the
Yeah,
bottom?
otherwise you're gonna have an exploding bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me hold it right here.
Okay, plus we got a little piece of packing foam in there, so we're gonna shoot a BB. So the first thing, before I even load up the BB, is we gotta get down to PSI. So in order to do that, you can go open, open, wind down. That way you can watch the gauge come down, okay? So open, wind down. Okay, the tall red one up here is 50. The one just above it is 60. So 60 in class, 80 in the field. The reason we talk about 60 is 500-foot span or less. That's a 60-pound test.
Right.
Anything greater than 500 feet, up to 80. And then just let it rip, okay?
Did you already put a bead in there?
No, because now I'm at the proper pressure. I put my safety on for you and me and people around.
Yeah, you have to adjust the
That's
pressure
off.
down from 150, otherwise you got a bullet. essentially.
Yeah. Yes, and we're not gonna shoot bees at each other at 150 pounds.
Yes, do it.
That's a lot.
Reminds me of my
You
child.
can do whatever you
Yeah.
want after I leave.
Well, you're gonna leave this here, right? Shoot me.
Okay, BB in the hole, 5 mil BB, 6x8 tubing. Okay, plug that in. Put my safety back in play. Gas went from here to here. That's it. Okay, call my man and say, stand by, here comes a BB. You ready? In 3, in 2. When I give you the mark, you start counting. Time. In 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, I felt it.
I'm flying.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Doing back the.
Do it again.
I held it too.
cool. Do it again.
Wait,
Like less than a second.
Hey,
Fast.
take off the
the
white
whole cap will
cap.
vibrate. You'll actually feel it goes right
Oh
past
my
your
god,
fingers.
that's so cool.
It'll
Sometimes
vibrate.
you-
You'll feel it go right through your
Oh.
fingers.
I see those little pieces.
Toasted?
Hurry, guys,
Yeah.
All right. All right, go ahead and put your cap back on. And then let's go ahead and start rotating. So you want to rotate on up, me? You come on in, or whatever. You can come on up. You started it.
Start over here.
Well, he started, so let him come in, because he already did that side.
Oh, we're all gonna do this?
And you're gonna do a refresher course in 3 weeks when we first start doing this. Right?
Actually, 2 years.
Got
Okay.
Oh,
video.
well, all
You guys need a link, I'll go ahead and probably put it on my YouTube.
Start this
Go ahead and take off the catcher. We're gonna start all over.
We'll be
We'll have to
fine.
rent one of these.
Okay, leave the
order some
coupler.
parts and I'll make it in here.
Leave the coupler with the catcher.
You and I need to talk about a couple
There
of
you
things. Whether you want to supply them or not, you want me to get them for you.
Okay, so now.
We'll just make a small
purging
setup in
down
here and throw a bunch
basically
of.
just turn on some
hose
gas
up,
and
do
get
some
some flow
practicing.
going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so now you're up to 60 pounds, but you got no flow happening. You gotta open up your safety and open up your, there you go. Okay. Okay, so that's purging continuity. So just go ahead and turn the toggle switch off. That gives him for class. And you can plug that
But
on.
you can't leave it on.
Yeah, in the real world, you wanna leave that run because this is
Yeah.
500,000
Keep it
feet long or whatever. It takes 5 minutes for the gas to
Refill
get
again.
over there.
Refill it.
So
Yeah.
the gas will start coming out
Mhm.
real slow, and that's your purge and your continuity, and before it gets real heavy, you slap on the gauge. Okay. Okay, so now turn it up and start communicating. So you grab the T-handle, turn to the right.
Where we at?
Nothing.
No.
Gas is off though. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
No, no,
open
it's
that way,
switch.
open that way. Hear the gas take off? There you go. So now turn your T-handle clockwise, and watch the red numbers, and he should be calling out some, turn it, turn it, turn it. There's 100, so you know you're going to 150.
100.
Okay.
Yeah, so relatively, you could set this gauge very close to 150 and wait for this guy to respond back to you.
110. 120.
Come on, go ahead, say a little
30.
bit. Go ahead, say
Look,
a
look,
little
look.
bit.
what, 40?
Yeah, slow down a little bit. Keep going,
A little bit more.
keep going. Keep going,
Keep going,
keep
keep
going.
going.
Oh, I hear it
One
all.
more. One more, right there.
Okay. All right. So now it's time for you to call him and say, okay, you're at 150. Let's do it isolation, and you're going to go. I'm going to isolate 3, 2, 1. Chop that off. If you don't have that, you turn that off.
3, 2, 1.
1,000. You're counting.
Count.
Count to 10.
1,000.
Count to 10 and watch the gauge.
Yeah, you watch the gauge.
Yeah, watch the gauge.
Don't pull that up already.
Oh yeah. Well, I missed one step. I
Oh,
missed
no,
one
he
step.
probably
Okay,
can pull it
okay.
apart anyway.
Okay.
Pressure.
So
10
the pressure
seconds.
is still same, 150.
Okay. All right, so that's a pass. Now you can purge out the line. One of you guys is on the clipboard, filling out SRP number 3, the test sheet. So, okay. So that would be that, pass, disconnect. Okay, and get ready to go ahead and put the catcher on.
Got a little bathroom jokes. That's the gas.
Come on, this is part of
Come on,
it.
man, it's a push and pull.
Oh,
Push.
Right now, the air is still in there, I think.
there should be no air.
It's purged.
No air. It's all you.
Push that blue in.
Don't let it
It's
win.
those wet hands of yours that you were talking
No more,
And
no
do you
more
need me to
pizza,
help
much
you?
more Wheaties.
Okay.
There we go.
As soon as you step over
I know,
too.
right, of course.
Clothesline somebody.
Okay. Just go ahead and take the white cap off and dump that rattle out. There you go. There's the first one. Because you always want to take the BB out after you make the shot, because you don't want a bunch of BBs floating around in there, because you'll disorient your next test result. Okay, so you're at 150. Got the gauge on, you got the catcher on, right? Open, open, wind down. Hear the gas first. Open, open, wind down. Come on down, you're wasting gas. I'm paying for money, man, that's my gas. 60 pounds.
That about it there?
Tall red one, just above 50. The tall 50, the tall one is 50. There you go, that looks about right. Okay, off, off. Okay, now we can disconnect the line.
From here?
Anywhere, typically right there. See, now freeze. Okay. See his left hand? See how it's cradled over the top of the switch?
You don't want that.
That's exactly why that's there.
So
Okay?
you don't accidentally.
Because if this is not here and you accidentally kick that switch wide open, then you get one of these. Okay?
Oh,
So,
fun.
yeah, and beat you about the head and shoulders like a stepchild. Okay, there's your movie.
Insert B.
Okay. Reconnect.
Yeah.
Put your toggle switch in the
Make
off
that-
position.
Make that BB worth it.
Good. Okay. Call your man.
Feel that
Meanwhile,
BB shoot through
you can
that
put this
hose.
back in play. On position. Let him
That
know you're
sounds
gonna
so
shoot
dirty.
BB in 3, 2, 1.
Shooting
I hear that a
BB
lot.
in 3, 2, 1.
Not
Go.
Oh, I didn't feel it.
That's pretty fast.
I didn't feel it.
Yeah, you could feel it go through there.
Oh, that's weird. I
Did
didn't
you,
feel it.
did we save it or did we lose it?
Maybe.
Okay.
Back here. I'll try to.
Okay, I want you to do it one more time. Go ahead and put your catcher on. Do everything the same. And let me get back over here and let's do a little something different.
Uh-oh. We're gonna create a kink, so we have to troubleshoot it.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna go that far. There's already a couple in there, I think.
Yeah, there are.
Okay, so what's the minimum bend radius on a jumper?
9 inches.
9
10
inches.
right.
I was
Okay.
gonna say 9 inches.
All right, so
9 inch bend radius?
so if I exceed the bend radius of the jumper in the TDU box, 1,000 feet away, I don't want to have any kinks. I want it to be smooth. So let me find the smooth spot, maybe, without kinking it. All right, boss, do your test whenever you're ready. Communicate.
Shooting BB in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. BB don't care. BB don't have a tail. Okay?
So when anyway?
It goes anyway, as long as the tube's not kinked, whambo, it flies.
But the
Okay?
fiber would have
The
a
fiber will have a difficult time going through this, and it's a
really tight.
totally different scenario. Right. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out to you. Let me slide back over this way. Okay, so good job, boss. Come on out and rotate. Come on up.